Hey everybody, JCB here with the Awesomest, and you're watching the Awesomest, Awesomest. Lately, I've been playing a game called 7 Days to Die. For those of you who don't know, 7 Days to Die is a zombie survival game that can best be described as a mix between Minecraft and DayZ. The biggest difference being the game's namesake feature. You start the game naked and unarmed in the zombie apocalypse, and you have 7 days to gather supplies and craft weapons. At the end of the week, all hell breaks loose. The moon turns blood red, thunder and lightning fill the sky, and an endless horde of zombies will hunt you down from dusk till dawn. Survive the night and you have 7 more days until the next horde. For new players, just getting through the first night is quite the challenge, let alone getting through night 7. So here are my top 10 tips for surviving in 7 Days to Die. I should probably start by saying that as of the filming of this video, the game is currently on beta 15.2, with beta 16 right around the corner. That being said, I'm not sure if all of these things will apply by the time you see this video, or if any of them apply to the console version, which I've heard is not so good. But I wouldn't know anything about that. Hashtag PC Master Race. Now that that stuff's all out of the way, let's jump into this list. Number 10, focus on the basics. Your first day in the apocalypse should be spent preparing for your first night. You start with a bottle of water, a bit of first aid, and some food, so focus your energy on shelter for the night. The zombies are pretty easy to outrun during the daytime, but nighttime is a totally different story, so start preparing by collecting plant fibers and rocks. Basically, just punch as many plants as you can. Boom! Right in the face. Also, pick up as many loose rocks as you can find. You'll need a handful to craft your first axe. And if you happen to find any nests, take the feathers and eggs, they'll come in handy later. To get wood, you could punch trees like in Minecraft, but you'll find trees take a lot more damage in this game. So you're better off finding and punching the smaller dead trees, or collecting and then scrapping chairs. Once you have enough wood, rock, and fibers, craft yourself a stone axe and then a club. Then just go nuts chopping trees and rocks. You're going to want as much wood and rock as you can manage to gather. If you find a house you can break into and secure, do it. But beware, houses often mean zombies. Thankfully, you don't need to have a house to survive the night. Number 9, hide in the trees. By hour 18, you should have enough wood and stones to make a caveman jealous. So if you can't find a house to secure, go ahead and find yourself a tree and start crafting some frames. Attach some wooden frames to a tree at least 3 blocks up. Zombies can jump and destroy anything lower. To get up there, create a makeshift staircase out of frames and then pick them up behind you so those bastards can't follow you. Upgrading the blocks a bit will make it harder for the zombies to see you from below, but it also uses more wood. Then just crouch down in the dark and wait out the night. The zombies generally won't attack trees, so you should be safe, as long as you don't make any noise. But this method does have a few downsides. First off, you're out in the open and exposed, so later in the game when the harder enemies start appearing, you may be subject to projectile vomit from the cop zombies. And second, when the night is over, you might have a small gathering of zombies to contend with. A variation on this technique can be built to allow you to easier attack the zombies over the course of the night, provided you've leveled up a little bit and you have yourself a decent weapon. Basically, create the same type of tree perch and then 2 blocks away from the edge, build a wooden frame staircase for the zombies to run up. The zombies can't jump the 2-block gap, but the player can if they have a running start. This gives the zombies a nice path right up to your club. Again, I don't recommend provoking the zombies at night until you've leveled up a little bit and have a decent weapon. So how do you get a decent weapon? Number 8, craft all night. A common complaint among new players is that the days are fun, but the nights are long and boring. After all, the zombies are just way too fast for you to try to scavenge supplies or go exploring or build anything. So how do you pass the time? Build a better club. 7 Days to Die uses a skill system. Basic skills can be earned by performing specific tasks. The higher the skill level, the more efficient the task. In this example, we're looking at weapon crafting and how to grind that skill overnight. Start by making a club. Great, now scrap it and make yourself another one. If you followed my advice in number 10, you should have a ton of wood. Next, make sure you have an axe ready to go in the morning, so you can get more wood, as you're probably going to run out by dawn. Over the course of the night, you're going to want to craft as many clubs as you can fit into your inventory, which at this point should be pretty empty, consisting mostly of rocks, wood, and plant fibers. When those clubs are done, start scrapping them to reclaim some of the wood you used to make them. Repeat this process over the course of the entire night or until you run out of wood, and you should end up with at least a level 100 club by morning, probably higher. Now, a level 100 club is still not great, but it's better than what you had before. You really won't notice a difference in your club's abilities until you get to about 350 or so. But the skills you earn building clubs apply to the other weapons you build as well. So when you build a bow or an iron reinforced club, which I highly recommend, that club too will be at level 100. Plus, every night can and should be spent grinding clubs until you reach level 600. Now, the next weapon you're going to want to build is definitely the bow and as many arrows as you can muster. On a side note, each of those arrows will also help bump your weapon crafting status, which will help you in the future, but let's talk strategy. Number 7, roofs are your friend. Now, unless you're the luckiest son of a bitch in the goddamn zombie apocalypse, when night 7 comes, you're probably not going to have much to protect you other than a bow and a club. Now, I do recommend crafting as many arrows as possible, but the real life-saving strategy is going to be to find a roof and climb up on top. It doesn't really matter what kind of roof, roofs in general are your friend, but the higher up, the better. If you can find a hotel or an apartment building, those are the best as they're very high up. Just get all the way up to the roof, cut down any ladders or staircases that lead up to the roof so the zombies can't get you, and wait out the night. Now, you're going to want to take note of what materials the building is made out of before you decide to make your stand there, as materials like wood can be busted out easily by the zombies. You're going to want to go with stone or concrete or something of that nature, as that takes a lot longer for the zombies to turn it into Swiss cheese and pull the walls out from under you. So once again, get up on the roof. Then secure it by hanging wooden frames past the edge to block any climbers. This will give you a clearer shot and keep any zombies off the roof. Then just pick off the zombies with your arrows, though be sure to save some for the morning when the zombies slow back down and you have to clear them out to get off the damn roof. Number 6, fight on your terms. One big mistake new players make is trying to fight the zombies at their base. Now, this seems like a no-brainer. After all, that's where you have all your supplies. You spent a good deal of time making that place more defensible, but really it's a bad idea. You're gonna want to fight the zombies away from home. Find or build a tall structure made of a strong material that'll keep you off the ground and the zombies off of you. Someplace you can abandon in the morning if it gets completely destroyed. Later in the game, the Red Knight hordes are notorious for doing an insane amount of damage to anything standing between you and them. Do you really want your base to look like Swiss cheese in the morning? Trust me, the smart play here is to find some poor sap's old house and let them turn that into Swiss cheese instead. Trust me, he ain't using it and he ain't coming back for it. Ideally, I suggest building some kind of battle station. Stock it with some basic essentials like food and water and ammo, and then go to the battle station on Red Knights with relatively little on your person to fight the zombies away from home. Then if you die, you can respawn back in your bed and wait out the night. Number 5, go behind the waterfall.
The Butterscotch Waterfall!
In the non-random map near the center, there is a gas station. Near that gas station is a bridge. On the side of that bridge is the waterfall, the only waterfall in the game. Here's the thing about zombies. They can't swim, sink like a rock, at least as of Alpha 15.2. But the player can swim, and this is a huge advantage as it allows you to easily make a secure base. Just head to this waterfall, then mine out the dirt behind the waterfall to make a tunnel. Then go inside. Mine back far enough, and you will create a cave behind the waterfall. You can even mine all the way back to the gas station if you like. The point is, the zombies can't enter the cave because the moment they walk into the water, they fall and sink to the bottom of the lake. It's an easy way to make a hidden base that the zombies can't just bust into. Number 4, art to the rescue. Here's the scenario. You're in a building, zombies are trying to bust through the door. You see a higher vantage point that would be much safer for you to stand on, but in order to get up there, you're going to have to craft some frames or ladder pieces, put them in place, jump to the higher ground, and then reach down and remove those things all before the zombies bust in the door and swarm you. Odds are they're gonna get you. That is, unless you learn to appreciate art in ways you didn't think were possible. Just about every building in the game, you will find artwork hanging on the walls. These paintings are pretty much useless unless you want to class up your base or build a staircase. Did I just say build a staircase? Yes sir, I did. Just collect as many of these paintings as you need to make your climb and place them on the wall in a staircase-like pattern. Then hold against the wall as you jump from painting to painting up to higher ground. The zombies are too dumb to manage this maneuver and will likely just break the lowest painting the moment they touch it, making any attempt to follow you up impossible. Just watch out for the ones that climb walls. They're sneaky little bastards. Number 3, Taz's Axe. Taz's Axe is one of the most powerful items in the game, but only if you wait for it. It can be found in any of these caves, but don't bother seeking it out until you've leveled up your character quite a bit. No sense wasting something this awesome on a noob. Like any other item in the game, the higher the level, the better the quality. In order to scavenge higher level items, your scavenging skills need to be leveled up pretty high. Regular stone axes are basically useless as weapons, but a level 600 Tazza's axe is basically a 2-hit kill. A level 100 Tazza's axe is basically garbage. And it chops through just about anything in no time. But you're gonna want to level up your Quality Joe perk all the way before you seek out Tazza's axe. Number 2. Drive Drunk. One of the many game-changing items in 7 Days to Die is the mini bike. Not only does it allow you to travel long distances in a short amount of time, thus opening up the map in many ways, but it's also a devastating weapon. Running over zombies almost always breaks their legs and makes them much less of a threat. Another item you can find in the game is a challenge that insists you kill 2 zombies while inebriated with your bare fists. Now this is a pretty hard challenge to complete, but what if I told you there's an easier way? First accept the challenge, then disarm yourself. Then drink a bunch of in-game beer. Then drive your mini bike over some zombies. Boom, challenge beat. I don't know why it works, but it does work, so just get out there and do it before they fix it. Number 1, choose the right perks. As I said, 7 Days to Die uses a skill point system in which you earn skill points every time you complete certain tasks, and it also allows you to buy perks with skill points you earn every time you level up your character. But since there is a level 200 player cap, the number of skill points players can spend on perks is also limited, making this yet another in-game resource to manage. So for starters, don't spend your skill points on anything that only costs 1 skill point. You can earn those. Save your points for the 5s and 10s. Those have to be bought. Next, you need to think about what kind of skills you value, what's going to help you survive. For me, it's all about scavenging. Ammo and guns are very hard to find, so the more scavenging points you have, the more likely it is you'll find those items. For that reason, Quality Joe is a great perk to buy, as is Fast Eddie. The former increases the quality of goods you can find, and the latter makes finding things faster. Although, here's a little bonus tip. If you're trying to search, say, a car or an ammo crate, something that takes a long time to open, just quickly press E again, and then try one more time, and it should open up immediately. At least again, as of beta 15.2. This skips some of that long wait time when you're trying to search for things. Other good perks to focus on are Sexual Tyrannosaurus, the Camel, the Survivor, and Run Forest Run, as these will all increase your ability to get out of tight situations and avoid dying of thirst or hunger. But those are just my preferences. Maybe you want to make it easier to find buried treasure or something like that. My point is, think about what skills you want to have before you spend your points on perks. And if you don't see something you absolutely want to buy, just save your points until later. Often once you leveled up other things, different perks will open up and become available for you. If you follow these tips, you will have a much better time playing 7 Days to Die. Unless you purchased it on console, in which case I can't help you. Go ahead and get yourself a real-life computer, a copy of Steam, and play the non-suck version. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know what you think of 7 Days to Die down below. Do you have the PC version? Do you have the console version? Do these things apply to the console version? Let me know. As always, make sure you subscribe so you can be alerted when my next video goes up. I do release new content every week, and until next time, keep being awesome. But this thing continued to disappoint even after closing Chrome.